I'm about to celebrate my 27th anniversary with the same woman. Yeah, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have our own episode of Naked and Afraid. Yep, we're going to have sex with the lights on. Yeah, I'm from Boston, the land of no R's. I got to tell you, going to school there, it's almost like you're ready to fail because you didn't know the alphabet properly. They replaced the R with AH, so everything was ah. Everything was ah. Ka, pak. Thank God I moved out of there because now I can at least say R properly. I just flew up there. I just went out and visited my sister up in New Hampshire. And I got to tell you, I went online, got my boarding pass, and that boarding pass gave me one of those TSA pre-check throughs. In other words, you don't have to wait in line like the other 100 people. So when I'm walking up there, feeling good about going through the gate, I happen to have a knee sleeve. So the guy says to me, "Hey, do you want to take that off?" I said, "No, I don't think I have to." So I walk through, I go through, he says, "Stick up your arms." I stick my hands up, I spin around. In the meantime, as I turn around, I see all these people that are in line taking off their belts, their shoes. I think they're going to start taking off their pants, and, you know, according to the new news, they're going to take off everything. It's going to be a nude line. But I'm in the line, I got my hands up, I turn around, he comes up to me with a little, like a magic wand. It starts going up and down, up and down. And I'm thinking, if this thing beeps, I'm not going to make it. And he's like, and it's not doing anything. I'm like, what is that? He goes, it's a sniffer. What the hell is a sniffer? It's a little thing on a stick. It's about this long. It's got a little round thing at the end, and he's just not saying anything. It's not beeping, which is good. Not anything. So anyway, I passed. So I get on the plane. We're going to Baltimore. So I'm on the plane. The plane's full. And the guy's on the window and myself. And there's one seat in the middle. And you know how you always dread that one person that you're going to get between the two of you? Sure enough, plane's loading up. And we're looking at each other like, hey, maybe we're okay. Maybe we're going to have that seat between us. Sure enough, here comes the guy. All happy and jolly. Sits down, starts telling me about he's raising chickens, he's doing this, he's doing that. I'm like, who the hell wants to know this? And he goes, hey, are you going to Baltimore? I'm thinking, are you serious? No, I'm going to jump out halfway. You know, some of these people are crazy. Absolutely crazy. My dad used to take me everywhere when I was a kid. He was a federal meat inspector, which I'm not even sure we even have them anymore. Now we just, if it's meat, it's good enough to eat, we're going to eat it. I'm not even sure if anybody's checking. But he used to take me around with him. All through Boston, he took me to the slaughterhouse. When I was a little kid, he told me just stand still, just stand right there. Okay, so I'm in this slaughterhouse. And back then, they had a little runner where the cattle would come through and get locked on their shoulders with their head sticking out. So there I am, I'm just watching. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Sure enough, the cow breaks out of that thing, comes charging towards me, and I can't move. I'm on guts, blood, everything in that place. I'm trying to get out of there. My feet just, I can't get out of there. Sure enough, the cow comes right at me, and this guy, wasn't my dad, because my dad was long gone. Some guy reached down, grabbed me, and just lifted me up over the top of the rail. Saved me. Just saved my ass. Yeah, I guess my dad really loved me. Because he was also our city in Boston, he was also on the side an animal inspector, which took care of all the dog bites. He used to have to go out there was a dog bit somebody, he'd have to go out and quarantine the dog. So naturally he took me with him. And I thought he did it because he loved me. Well, what happened was he'd put me out in the yard. He'd walk, he'd hold me on the side, walk like 4 paces from the driveway, and stop. He goes, you stand right there. He goes up and rings the bell and starts running. He runs right past me. Dad! Sure enough, the dog jumps through the screen, runs this way, and I'm just standing there. I did not know the dog had a chain. And my dad was measuring the distance of that chain with me. And just about get to my ankles and the dog would go down right in front of me. My dad would come back like, okay, everything's good. Everything's good. But then he started telling me what he had to do if the dog passed away and bit somebody and passed away. He'd have to cut the head off. I said, oh my God. And he goes, you're going to be a man. I want you to do it. I am not doing it. I am not doing it. He had a little satchel. He'd pull out the knives, start sharpening them. And, okay, come here, be a man. I say, I'm not doing it. Not only am I not doing it, I recognize those knives from Thanksgiving. They're the same damn knives we use every year. I did not do it. So as I got older, I kind of paid him back, not intentionally. Not intentionally. I got out of boot camp. He had just paid off his Buick Electra 225. I don't know if you remember those cars, if you heard of those cars, but they were like a tank, but it was beautiful. So naturally, before I report to my duty station in Little Creek, we have a party. Well, lo and behold, a girl leaves her pocketbook, and you know what that means. She cannot live without that pocketbook. So I asked my dad, I said, hey, she's only right down the street, Dad, and it is November, and it's snowing. Snow on the ground, but I begged him. So, come on, Dad. He lets me take the car. Sure enough, this little kid runs out. He's wearing a yellow raincoat. Runs out in front of the car. You can look at the trees going back and forth on the windshield. I'm like, ooh, shit. So I'm going down that hill. I see a gap of a wall in a yard. I aim for it. I hit, boom. My head bounces off the windshield. I get out. I'm looking. Oh my God, thank God. The driver's side is great, not a dent. I'm walking around in the snow, I can feel my head, this acorn thing growing out of the side of my head from hitting the window. I can just feel it going. I get in front of the car, look straight, look straight. I go to the passenger side, the wheels turned up underneath, pushed through the engine. I just go into the snow. I just went down. So the cops come. And like I said, my dad was well known in town. He was associated with different officers. The cops come, they pick up my dad, and they want this cop to take me to the hospital. And on the way, they're going to intercept the other cop with my dad in the other car. My dad gets in the back seat. Cop says, hey, he may be really injured. You got to keep him awake. And my dad, he knew his car was gone. He says, oh, I'll keep him awake, all right. He was beating the hell out of me all the way to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, it wasn't because of the accident. He was the one that gave me another concussion. All right, folks. You all have a great night. Thank you very much. Rabbit?
Now, let me just point something out to you real quick. Now listen, I'm being serious, y'all. I like the big girls. I do.